Good evening. So today I'll just discuss about the writing task 2 for the IELTS. Generally you have for IELTS for academic and general you have task 1 and task 2. For academic task 1 they just discuss about the bar graph or the pie chart, and for and then you have task 2 for general essay. And for general training in task 1 you have letter writing, and again you have task 2 which is common for both academic and general. Now here first I'll tell you how to go about the task 2 writing, which is very a challenging task there. Right. In writing task 2 for both academic and general is common, as I told, right? And you have 6 different type of questions. One is this advantages and disadvantages. They give a statement, ask you to say what are the advantages and disadvantages. Second one is they give a statement, they ask you to say, discuss both the views and give your opinion. So in this type of questions, sometimes you get discuss both the views and they don't ask to give your opinion. When they don't ask to give your opinion, you don't have to give your views or your opinion, right? Only when they ask, please give your opinion, you have to just give. But most of the questions for discuss both the views, you have please give the opinion. The next type of question is causes and solutions. So they might ask you what are the causes for this one, and then they will ask what are the solutions for that. Right. Next type of question is you have agree or disagree. So they'll give a statement and whether say do you agree with the statement or disagree with the statement. So this is a bit challenging from other essays. So in agree or disagree, you have to just follow with one type. That either you have to just go with the agree model, right? Or you have to just go with the disagree. Don't write both together, like agree and disagree both. So you have to just stick to one point and then give your views. Now the next question is you have, like we say, direct questions again. So they might ask you, there are 2 types of direct questions. One is the single direct question and the other one is the double direct questions. So you have to just answer to the questions. They'll give a statement. So statements are all common for all this one, right? So every question will have statement followed by this type. And the last one is again a challenging one, where they'll give a statement and they'll say do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So this question is quite different from the type 1. So there in the type 1 they say ask you to discuss the advantages and disadvantages. So in that type you have to just discuss the advantages and disadvantages. But in this outweighs, you have to tell me whether the advantage is more than the disadvantages or vice versa. Right. Now I'll just give an example on how to write the advantages and disadvantages essay. Now all the essays will have 4 paragraphs, okay, irrespective of type. So here for advantages and disadvantages questions, you have to just write 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph is the introduction. So the introduction, how we write? So introduction will have 2 main sentences, right? So the first sentence is this very challenging. You don't have to think like how to write about that. So as I told, all these questions will have a statement followed by a question. Right. Now for instance, in this advantage and disadvantage, they might guide. So internet shopping is quite popular with people these days. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this type. So here you have to be very clear. They are asking to write the advantages and disadvantages of internet shopping. But you have to be very clear. So sometimes most of the students get carried away and just write about the advantages on the internet. Right, so the advantages on internet is different. Advantages on internet shopping is quite different. So you have to be very clear that. Right. Now the first paragraph you have to write the paraphrase a statement. As I told, there will be a statement with all the questions. Again here, when you write the statement, there are 2 ways. One is the simple way of rewriting the statement with equivalent synonyms. For instance, we can say that in the same question, as I told. More and people are finding it easy to shop on internet. So right, so there again. So there you can say more and more people, you can just use the synonyms users, right? So more and more users are trying to use a shop on the websites or portals or something related to that. Another way of writing the statement is using the passive voice. So if you are very strong in the passive voice, you can go on that. And the second statement is, you can say why this is very popular and with whom, it's something like that, right? So you just finish this introduction. In second paragraph, you are going to write about the advantages of internet shopping, right? So you have to just generate 3 advantage points. So when you have to start, so generally they say you have to start with the advantage paragraph as walking through the advantages. Could be a better word on that, right? So there are many ways, but this is one stronger one. Writing on the advantages of internet shopping. Okay, then you can say that many find that it's an easy way to shop, right? You just write one point and then give this explanation. How do you say that it is easy? Then again, then add that moreover, then give the second point and tell how that second point is easy. Then you write the third point and then explain. So altogether you have 6 sentences in second paragraph. So this is how. So you just mention the first point, give the explanation. Tell the second point, give the explanation, and tell the third point and give the explanation. Right. So there are many ways. So best way is, please try to avoid that one firstly, secondly, and thirdly, which is very common with most of the students. So to be unique, you can just write. So the best is the that best is something like that related to that. You can use otherwise additionally, moreover, apart from this. So this type of questions you can just do that linking words. Now moving to the third paragraph. So moving to the third paragraph is writing about the disadvantages. So here try to start this paragraph in the similar way, like moving down to the drawbacks. Never use the words advantages and disadvantages, both in writing and speaking. So these are very common words, use the synonyms, right? So you just similarly, how you wrote the advantages 3 points, you have to write the same disadvantages 3 points. So moving through the disadvantages of portal shopping or eBay shopping or something like that, you can just say that one of them is something, you can just write what is the drawback of that. Okay, then how you say the drawback. Then you write the second sentence, give the explanation, third sentence, give the explanation. Now here we are now in second paragraph, you have discussed about the advantages. In third paragraph, you have discussed about the disadvantages. Right, now it is necessary to give an example. And same way, it is not necessary to give the example in both advantages and disadvantages. The reason is, the examiner wants to know, how are you well aware of stating the example, right? So either you give one example in the advantages or the second advantage, one example in disadvantages. For instance, if you have there, say, now I say that internet shopping is quite popular, then you can say that, so one can see that Amazon and Flipkart are popular websites where more customers are there. So you can just state an example. So whenever you give an example, it should be the last sentence of the paragraph, either in the second paragraph or in the third paragraph. So never give the examples in the beginning or in between. So always you have to close the paragraph in the end of the, one of the part, either in second paragraph or the third paragraph, right? And coming to the last paragraph on the conclusion. So when you write the conclusion, it is a very simplest form. You have to just rewrite the introduction, right? So I told you, when you write the introduction, you write the synonym or the paraphrase, the statement. Again, you have to do the paraphrase, the statement, and then write the second sentence. Again, you tell why this is very popular, or with age group it is very popular, or something like that, right? So it is more a kind of repetition on the conclusion part. So when you write this, so if you check that, you have that 2 sentences in introduction, 6 sentence in second paragraph, again 6 or 7 sentences in third paragraph, again 2 sentences. So in last paragraph. So altogether they require 250 words. So try to write around 260, maximum 270. Again, don't write more than that. Sometimes that will also have a minus remarks on that. So just close it. Again, never ever write below 250 words. That you have to do that. And word counting is very, very important in writing part. And you have to count the words and see that you are crossing 250 mark. Again, don't exceed on the 270 maximum, right? Now coming to the other part, here is the very challenging one, is like agree or disagree part, right? So again in agree or disagree part, you have that questions and they say, do you agree? Now for instance, in this example, rising the fuel price is the one of the best ways to control pollution. Do you agree or disagree? So here they're just saying that whether you are going to agree or disagree to this the statement. So when you say that yes, this is a mass murder, so this is a kind of yes or no question, but still you don't have to give that, right? So just paraphrase the statement. Okay, hiking the gasoline or hiking the petrol price is one of the easiest way of curbing the pollution by the authorities, by the government, something like that. So that things you can just write, and then you have to give your answer here, right? So in advantage and disadvantage, it's up to you, right? But here, why do you say? Now, for instance, yes, yes, I do agree. This is one of the best methods. So, right? So that way you have to give. Okay, so don't write yes, I agree, I disagree. So this is a very common word. Tell the reason first, right? This is one of the best source. So definitely this will, this will definitely control the pollution to some extent. Then you have to write here. There in advantage and disadvantage, we wrote 3 points separately and 3 points separately. So total 6. Here also you have to write 6 points, but all 6 points are on the agree part. Right, so that is the main thing. In first part, again. Now here, again there is a introduction. After the second paragraph, you have to start in a high note, right? Okay, now, yes, so then you have to just write that. So, okay, now writing onto the, or going by the statement or something like that. So why do you agree? So you just write 1 point, give the explanation, 1 point, give the explanation, and third point, and give the explanation, and then give an example. Similarly, same way, yes, adding to this, you just start the third paragraph, write 1 point on the, and then give the explanation, right? Second point, give the explanation. Third point, write the explanation. Always try to have that, follow that moreover, additionally, adding to this, something like that. So never use that firstly, secondly, and lastly. In case if you're using firstly, secondly, don't use thirdly, it has to be lastly. But that is very common with most of the students. So to be unique, you can just use, again, moreover, however, is also, more unique, but still you can just use that. So I'll just give you more synonyms on that. And again, conclusion here is the same, similar to the introduction. So you'll be writing the same thing, right? So it is one of the best method by the government authorities, increase the flowing to at least to curb to the certain situation. And then you have to support the answer. So the way you say in conclusion is that, so you have said your points with that strong support. Hence, something is there. Again, in conclusion, do not start to conclude, to sum up, okay, to put it in a nutshell. To put it in a nutshell is not a good, it's not very common, but still to conclude, as this is also very common with the students, try to use thus. Thus is a very strong word to conclude your IELTS essay. Thus, and then write the statement, and then give the things. So you can just check about the other types in my next concept.